I mean, like the cocaine in Colombia just sort of by the end of the 90s is just like
It's ridiculous, right?
You love that
Like,
whole thing. That's a big. You're big into
it's
that.
completely sort
Yeah.
of they got it, like, and then sort of
You're
like
a
all the
super
cocaine
fan
production.
of like the
moves to, like,
gangsters, the
Ecuador and
mafia, the
stuff.
Yeah,
family,
he loves
all
all
that
that.
stuff. That's your jam. All right, let's do Bodega and let's get it out of here.
Because I'm a gangster IRL, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Real gangster.
Bodega, part Diez. In the palace of the self-appointed King Wabu, there was a small cupboard beneath a grand staircase. Inside that cupboard, a bulky humanoid form stood silent and still. It was sleek, like a Horvathian air leopard. Its outer skin was dark charcoal grey, and so matte it seemed to reflect almost no light at all. Its head was a simple, slightly tapered oblong with no protuberances or markings, a monolith of efficiency housing some of the most advanced sensors ever created by the Shrovian labs. Its body looked like someone had taken a human being and replaced the limbs with bits of old weaponry. The arms surely belonged to some battlecruiser turret or shoulder-mounted blast cannon. Its legs seemed to be the bones of some ancient war machine found dormant on a dusty world. Its torso looked like hell had carved it from the corpse of a fallen angel. It bore no markings, but it bore grudges. It wasn't so much programmed as evolved. A droid this complex wasn't something you simply hacked together. It had to be created and then nurtured as it devised its own stratagems and tactics. That evolution and growth came at a human cost. It had not only learnt to kill and destroy, it had learnt too who its true enemies were, and it could hate people. Its current situation was its least favorite according to its database, and it wanted revenge on the person responsible, who also happened to be the #1 result in its search revengin. That person was King Wabu. Its sensors detected motion outside the cupboard. No doubt Wabu come to gloat again. The door opened, and the droid heard a familiar voice. "Howdy, pard. You still the Varu I knew," it said. "Processing. Human. Bodega. Bodega," it said. "What is purpose of visit?" "Dang, they still got you talking like that, huh?" said Bodega. "Affirmative," said Varu. "Well, pard, when I knew you, you were Varu. Those letters still stand for what they used to?" asked Bodega, tilting his hat back and leaning on the door jamb. "Affirmative," said Varu. "Let's bust you out of here and get to work," said Bodega, smiling. He rested his hands on his gun belt. "There is a problem," began Varu. "Wabu, that fat old mork beast ain't any kind of problem, I assure you," Bodega said, turning and revealing what lay on the ground behind him. Wabu, hog-tied and gagged. The king, as he called himself, shrunk in horror at the sight of Varu advancing on him. "Where is my Tamagotchi?" it asked. Said Wabu. Varu took hold of one of the king's pinkies and began crushing it delicately between its super-powered fingers. Said Wabu with more urgency. "Hold up," said Bodega. "What in the world is a Tamagotchi?" "Ancient toy from old Earth. Varu had last one in existence, had kept alive for centuries. Wabu stole," said Varu, getting more angry and flattening Wabu's finger completely. Screamed Wabu, nodding towards his belt with the only motive part of him. Varu examined the king's belt and found a small pouch containing the precious Tamagotchi, its casing worn down almost to nothing, but its tiny screen and artificial creature still visible. But the tiny creature, instead of being alive and happy, was now simply a tombstone. Varu said nothing for a long time. Wabu began crying. Tears ran down his face and pooled on the grand marble floor. He looked up at his fabulous ceiling and wept. It was the last time he would get to see the subtlety in its design, the grandiose sweep of its arches and buttresses. Varu rose slowly and turned to Bodega. "My son is dead!" And a single oily tear pooled at a point on its monolithic face. An oily tear pooled at a point on its monolithic face where Bodega assumed its eyes would be and slithered down, plinking off the armor of its chest. Bodega considered the droid. He pulled down his hat, took a big old hit off his megavape and sighed. "Does Varu still stand for Very Angry Robot Unit?" he asked. Varu turned to him. "You know it, bitch," said Varu, before stamping on Wabu's head with the force of a rutting grunk. The royal skull exploded, and Varu turned calmly to Bodega, its head cocked slightly to the side. Bodega looked and saw what it was indicating, a small red oval on its neck. "Wabu, fingerprint," it said, and Bodega understood. He hacked off Wabu's index finger and held it to the red oval. "Ah, that's better," said Varu. "That voice control unit made Wabu laugh. He held me hostage here, humiliating me, forcing me to toil as a simple servant. Over my head, the constant threat that he would kill my Tamagotchi. Now that it's dead and Wabu is dead, I am free. but my sadness circuits are completely overloaded. I will never kill again, said Varu. Flarv. Well, what if we get you another Tamagotchi, said Bodega. Or you could just reboot me, said Varu. Cool, said Bodega, and they got the Disco Volante and flew away. The end.
Oh man, what an episode! Fucking the oily tear as well. It's like the icing on the cake.
This is it. This is how he starts forming the crack team.
Recruit the crack team of ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
Nice. Fucking
I
loving
think of it a
man.
little bit like Ocean's, Ocean's films, where he has to get together like all the old contacts.
The best of the best.
That's always my
stolen
favorite.
contacts,
That's
yeah.
always my favorite part of those
job.
Yeah.
And
There's
they're
always
always in
like the
some
crazy
weird-
guy who's good at bombs. It's like,
bomb guy
has anybody seen Gary? He's just like
blowing something up.
he's
So he
blowing
blows
open
up
a
in the
bank or
background,
something. Yeah.
There's some hacking guy. There's a beautiful woman. There's all those kind of
Yeah.
people in those things. So I'm
The
gonna
femme
come up with
fatale.
8 more people that are kind of messed up. So a
Nice.
Tamagotchi obsessed robot is the first one. I thought that was kind of.
But he's
funny.
rebooted now, so is he gonna forget about the Tamagotchi
No,
completely?
but his sadness circuits will reset. So he'll
Oh,
be
right.
okay.
Sadness. Okay. Nice.
I think his voice should stay as the robo voice.
You
I
like
like
it?
I
that
think
a lot
that-
more.
Yeah, I
just
like
thought
the robo voice
It's
too.
a little too much. I did prefer it, but I thought, do I want to do this stupid voice every time Varu says something?
Yeah. You killed my son.